Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to discuss all about how to create a search bar filter in React.js. I will get the data from API and display the data inside the application. When I search something that the search will match our data, then we will get the suggestion inside the application. So let me explain you what I mean there. I'm going to search like all. As you can see, the data is coming from the API and the data is appear inside this application. When I remove that and when I enter something wrong, as you can see, no data found. And also when I search like all and click any content, so the particular content will be stored inside the input field. Let's click on it, as you can see, and I'm going to click on this one, and so on so forth. So remove it, and I will share with you how you can create it from scratch. I'm going to close that, and I'm going to open my copy project, copy search bar filter like that. So I'm going to execute the command to display the application inside my browser. So I'm gonna write and run there, and we will get that default like app inside my web page. So just a minute, it will get the time because I rearranged the code inside this one application. Let me open that, and right now as you can see the default is app. Also I have an index.css file. So without further ado, let's get started. Write the code to design the application. So I'll use the class container. Inside the container I will use the wrapper. Inside the wrapper I will use the form tag. Inside the form tag, by the way, I will create a component on there. Just a minute, I'll just get that. I will create a component like search bar. And I'm gonna paste on there this one. Right, and we need to import that search bar like this. So and I can't see anything else because I need to add few things inside this one application. So inside the form I will use the form control. Inside the form control I will add the input control component. Also I will clear that input control JSX, and we need to import it, so remove it, and one more time add it. It should be display the import on there. Right, the input control has been appeared. The next thing I'm gonna add it the list item, right? And so right now I'm gonna use class list item. So inside that I'm gonna use search filter component. Also I will create that search filter.jsx, see search filter, and remove that, open it. I need to remove the app.jsx file, and we will work on the search filter, input control, and search bar. So I have more than 3 components, right? And also I need to add the button tag as well. So where I will add the button tag inside the form, and I'm gonna add the search class name is btn search. So let me write the CSS to design the complete application. So but before designing it, I also mentioned few things inside the input field. and inside the input field I need to add input type is text. I'm gonna use class name is input file, placeholder should be search, and yeah, that's it. In the filter I need to get the data from API and we're gonna display the data inside there, but right now I'll use the static data like UL tag, li tag, and I'm gonna use how to front end developer. So yeah, I'll get it multiple times. I just designed the static data right now. Then I will get the data from API and display it inside my application. So let's start to design that. So I'm gonna add background color will be DC DSC, and I'm gonna display the content at the center. So I need to use display property flex, justify on center, align item center, and I need to use min height should be 100 VH, and then I need to use font family should be properties and sans serif. Let me save it and look at that. My content will appear inside the center of the page, button, content, and yeah, everything is great on there. So let me write the width of the application should be 500, and also I'm going to use font tag, write the position relative. Reason for using position relative, I will add the button inside the input field, so that's a reason for using position relative inside the font tag. The next thing, I'm going to select the button tag, but before selecting it I need to use input field, and I'm going to use basic properties, and padding I will use 1 rem and 1 small, font size 1 rem. Also I will use box shadow 0.05 pixel GB. So let me write the button tag, and I'm going to use position as absolute. Once you use position absolute, then you can move it top to bottom and whatever position you will use it. But I will use the basic things like outline none, border none, font family, and height and padding 1 rem, font size also 1 rem, and I'm going to use border radius 5 pixel, cursor should be pointer, and also I will use the effect when I hover the mouse, scale, not the transform, scale 0.98. So let me save it and look at that. This is my input field. When I click on it, as you can see, and also where is the input field, I also add the border radius inside the input field. Yeah, I will add it. Let me open that. Yeah, great. So let's move on the list items. Item list. So I'm going to background color should be white, ZNX -1, and I'm going to assign the height 250 pixel. Overflow I'm going to use hidden, and also I will use overflow Y. Auto means I need to display the scroll bar when I will reach the height of the particular section is 250. So I can see in a minute. List item. So look at that. Right, so let me add few things. List item UL, so remove the bullets, and also I'm going to select the list item UL align. I'm going to use the margin, not the padding, I'll use 1 and also I'll use the border bottom 1 pixel solid and like this. So I'm going to save the file and look at that. This is the scroll bar, or search sections. Let me add the hover effect. When I hover the mouse, use background color should be DDD and cursor should be pointer. So I'm going to save the file and look at that, guys. So let me explain you how you can get the data from API and how you can display the data inside your application. So let me move on the search bar, and I have a file content. So you need to visit this one website, dummy.json.com. I'm gonna show you in a minute. You will get the post. Right now I'm gonna get the post, but you can open the dummy.json.com and you need to open the docs, and you will get different type of dummy details like dynamic images, card, recipes, users. So I have a post, so I'm going to use the post. So I'm going to leave that. I just show you. So you need to get this one URL, and you need to move on the search bar.jsx. Step number 1, you need to make a states. So const, I'm going to use API data, set API data, use this tab, and I'm going to assign the default is nothing. The next one, I'm going to select the const search item, set search item, use this tab. I'm going to assign the default is nothing. The next one is I need to get the data from API. By getting the data from API, I'm going to use effect hook. So inside that, I'm going to call the fetch function, and I need to pass the URL that will get the data, like post. Usually I'm using a sync function, but right now I'm gonna change the usage of the a fetch function by getting the data from API. So I'm gonna use this time, then I'm gonna add the response, and the response should be converted into JSON. And outside of the JSON, I also use done in the data, and right now I'm calling it inside the console. Let me check that it's working or not. So I have object, post, and a lot of details inside the console. So let me add these details inside the effect. Use this state. So I'm gonna calling the set API data and just pass the data variable that is coming from the API. When you will call the API data, then you will get the result, right? But also I'm gonna add few more things inside there. Is be catch. Also I'm calling it if the error is appear, so I'm going to use console.log. Right, cool. Let's add the function when I change the value inside the input field, right? So input change event, and input change. I'm gonna passing the value and search term e.target e.value. So let me call it search. So I need to pass as a props inside the input field, and input, I'm passing it, and I need to get, just a minute, I need to get that inside there. And also I need to add the event on change. Right, so let me refresh my page. Okay, search, let me check it. Okay, what happened with next? Okay, here's a mistake, and it should be removed. Yeah, and I write something. I'm getting the data from the input, and the data is stored inside the console. Right, so let me get the data from API that is stored inside the variable, inside the state, like API data. So we need to display these details inside the list item. So what I need to do on there, I need to pass the value as a props. Right, so let me copy the API data, and where is the search filter? So I'm gonna calling it filter data. You can write any name as you want. I'm gonna passing the value as API data. Copy the search filter and get it on there. So you need to use loop through by adding the map method to get the data one by one from the API and add the data inside the ally tag. So let me write the filter data dot map. So inside that I'm gonna calling the values post. You can write any name as you want. This is a temporary name, right? And I'm gonna use curly brackets. Write the ally tag. In the ally tag I need to use the key should be post.id, that is ID that is coming from the API. And let me right now I can't see on there. Then inside there I need to pass what you want to display on the list item. So I need to call the post.title, and okay, something is wrong. Yeah, undefined map function. So let me check it. This is very technical. Well, just a minute, I will rearrange the filter data map post. Let me write that. So I think it should be display. Nope. Okay, let me save this file. And yeah, I think something is wrong. So let me check search filter API data. Let me write the console filter data. Let's check it. The data is coming or not. Yeah, the data is coming inside search filter, but I think something is wrong inside the map method. So let me check it. Why? Just a minute. I'll get that. Right, so I need to get the post. So let me go to search bar and select the use effect. Inside that, the set API data, inside there you need to call the post. So I think it should be display. Yeah, I'm getting the data from API and the data is appear inside the alert. The same data like there. So let me refresh my page and same data, right? So let me remove this from this one from there. So let's add the filter. When I search something inside the input field, then I need to make the data from the API data, and we need to display the data inside the input field, right? So let's do that. So first thing is you need to remove the console.log and use set search item, that is uses to top of your page. Inside that you need to pass the search item, right? Search term. Then here is a logic of the filter data. So you need to create a variable filter items and call the API data like this one. Inside that I have a complete details that is coming from the API. Use filter method and passing the value, and inside that you need to use what you want to get the from API and what you want to match it. So I'm gonna use data.title dot. I need to match the title which is appear inside the API. So let me show you the title. So I just target this one title. These are titles of the books. When you will search something, then the input field data will match with the title of the API, then you will get the result. So let me add the same thing like this one. Data. When you will use the API data, it will convert by the data value. So in the data variable, you can use the data title. It means you can call this one API title, right? So let me add it to lowercase function that includes, means check which value you will use it. So I'm going to use search term like this one, that to lowercase. Once you add it, then outside of that you need to target the, in a minute you need to create a, by the way, states const filtered data set filtered data. Maybe use a state, and you need to target set filter data like this one and pass the filter value, right? The next thing, you need to change the filter data API to search filter data, right? So I think something is wrong. Search bar filter and initialize by use effect hook. So okay, so let me write, as you can see, as so I'm getting the data from API, the data is appear on there. When I remove it, you are able to see complete details. Also I will manage it. He was and right now, as you can see, right? So next thing I'm gonna add it, when I click on the particular search term, then the particular value will be stored inside there. So let me show you how you can do that. So the first thing is you need to, where it is, search. So I'm gonna use handle click, and inside that I'm gonna use set search item, right? Set search item, this one function. So you need to move on the search filter inside the li tag like there. So you need to target on click when the user will click on the search filter, so I'm gonna store the value. Let me edit, click, and I'll click post that title. So let me save it. Okay, there is a mistake, so I need to save the file. Let me check it and click on it. Okay, there is mistakes. Okay guys, I think I need to store the value inside the input field. So inside the input field also we need to assign the search item. So where is input field? So you need to assign the search input field. Just a minute. Search item, and you need to use search item. Just get it and move on the input field, paste on there, and after that you need to use value, should be this one. That's it. Refresh the page. I'm gonna use, okay, I think there is some problems. Okay, I need to save this in file. Right now, as you can see, the data is stored inside the input field, so I'm going to use, but the data is still stored inside this one input field, so we need to fix it, right? So let me, as you can see, when I refresh the web page, as you can see, so let me fix it. By fixing that, I will add few things. The first thing is I'm gonna add the is loading state, is loading set loading user state, and the default is loading is true. And also I will manage it, the errors is error, set error use state, the default is no, right? So inside the cage, where is the cage? Here, cage. So inside the cage, the first one is I'm gonna use, and by the way, where is API data? So I've used the set API data, but also I need to call the filter data, set filter data, and I'm gonna passing the same thing after this one, set filter data, because the data filter is stored inside there. And set filter data, I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna assign the set filter data.post. So let me refresh my page. Yeah, the data is stored inside the input field, but I think I will remove the video right now, but I will leave it, I will manage it. So let me add the set error, and I'm calling error, right? Then after this one, catch, I also call finally, and the finally I will use set loading should be false. Right, so I have an error, I have a set loading, so let me use it inside this one page. So the first one is I'm gonna use is loading true, then I need to display the loading, and I'm gonna get it second time, and I'm gonna use is error. So I'm gonna write the text, there was an error, and last thing I'm gonna add it is loading, and have an error is false. Then I need to call the filter data dot length triple equal to 0. Then I'm gonna call the no data font. Otherwise I need to display the search item, and inside the search item I need to get that, and I'm gonna paste on there. So let me save it and let me refresh my page. The loading is up here, but I'm gonna search something, no data found. Okay, and but when I use this, so let me check it one more time. What happened inside this one page? Is loading, filter data. Okay, let me check. Okay, I have same thing on there. So I'm going to use it. It's a small. So the all problems is coming from the set filtered and set filter data, so I need to manage it. So that will just be set filter data. So I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste on there. So the loading is up here. I want to remove this one because why I can't see the search details. Okay, here's a mistake. Search item is true, then display the result. Okay, right, no data found. I'm getting the results. Yeah, everything is good, but last thing I need to fix it when I click on it. So let me check it one more time. Set search filter target.radio, peer data filter, input control, and I'm going to change. Let me go to search filter. Okay, when user click on it, then this function will execute. So let me refresh my page. First I'm gonna write something I can't see, and I'm gonna use his mother. Click on it. As you can see, the data is stored inside the input field, and when I search she was, thanks, click on it, you are able to see everything is a reset.